facing a judge that's more important or more difficult than crafting an appropriate sentence. And that responsibility becomes even more difficult, whereas here, Mr. Goodsell's conduct caused such a tragic result, the loss of an innocent young woman, Claire Rose Zisserson, and the devastating impact on her family and the community, and the serious physical and emotional injuries to Kendall Z. Motel and Elizabeth Zisserson. As with any sentencing decision, I've carefully considered and assessed the information before me in light of the sentencing goals that counsel has talked about: punishment, deterrence, protection of the public, and rehabilitation. In making my assessment, I've considered the circumstances and the severity of the offense, the recommendations of the Commonwealth and of the defendant, the victim impact statements so eloquently and heartfelt today, and all of those in writing that I read either today or before today. All of your impact statements and letters give me a little glimpse into the beauty and light that you've described that was lost. I've considered the defendant's lack of any criminal history. I've also considered the sentencing guidelines, which, as I mentioned, were established by the Sentencing Commission, created by our legislature, and that consists of people on all sides of the case: prosecutors, defense counsel, public safety, and correctional officials, as well as victim witness advocates. While not mandatory, these guidelines were designed, among other goals, to promote consistency in the sentencing process and in our judicial system. It's my responsibility to consult my own conscience, exercise my discretion in order to punish Gregory Goodsell justly. Judicial discretion does not commit to the court to assign a value to a victim's life, because every human life is incalculable. Judicial discretion does not permit me to render a sentence out of emotion or a public desire for vengeance. I've considered the life of an innocent, remarkable, bright light, Claire Zisserson, a 13-year-old girl, beloved by her family, a compassionate and kind friend, who was taken because of your criminal conduct. As I said, the written and oral statements by the people that spoke and submitted letters portray enormous grief, sense of loss, and some anger that resulted from Claire's tragic death. The Zisserson family, Elizabeth, Ken, Teddy, lost their beloved daughter and sister, and the Plymouth community has lost its beloved neighbor, uniquely special friend, and teammate. Again, it's clear to me after listening and reading to the victim impact statements that Claire brought tremendous joy, laughter, and compassion to her family, and really to all the people that she came in contact with in her short life. I'm sure that nothing I say and no sentence I will impose today will lessen the grief of Claire's family, and so many others have endured and will continue to endure. I have also considered that the crash that ended Claire Zisserson's life also caused life-altering bodily injury to Elizabeth Zisserson and Kendall Z. Motel. Claire's family understandably has asked that this court punish Mr. Goodsell to the fullest extent allowed for by the law. While the penalty range for murder in the second degree is life in prison, it carries with it the possibility of parole after 15 years. Thus, at 36 years old, if paroled, Mr. Goodsell might still have the opportunity to lead some productive life, all the one forever burdened with the horrific results of his intentional behavior. That, I am sure, seems unfair to Claire Zisserson's family and friends. While I'm respectful of your feelings, I'm also mindful that the court should not and will not impose a sentence based on emotion. I have considered the nature and circumstances of the offense, the conduct and character of the defendant, as well as the nature and degree of physical harm to Claire, Elizabeth, and Kendall. The sentence I have crafted will, I believe, punish Mr. Goodsell for his actions, deter him from any future misconduct by forcing him to consider what he did and to learn to appreciate the gravity of acting without care for the obvious consequences of his actions, and will protect the public. As to the goal of rehabilitation only, in crafting the appropriate term of probation, and there is a probationary part of my sentence. Should Mr. Goodsell ever be released on probation, I have appropriately considered the hearsay information in the police reports presented by the Commonwealth, which I find reliable and not inaccurate or misleading, reporting the defendant's past driving conduct as it relates to crimes for which he has been convicted. Again, I have considered this reliable information only for the purpose of crafting probation conditions. I specifically state I have not considered that information for the purpose of punishment or sentencing on indictment 0, 1, 2, 4, or 5. As the law, under the law, it would be inappropriate for me to do so. Mr. Goodsell, please stand. Mr. Goodsell, as to indictment 001, charging murder in the second degree, I sentence you to life in prison with the possibility of parole in 20 years. For charge 002, manslaughter by OUI, I sentence you to 12 years and 1 day in state prison to run concurrent with count 001. As to indictment number 4, charging driving a motor vehicle while OUI, causing serious bodily injury to Kendall Z. Motel. I sentence you to 8 years and 1 day from and after the sentence on 001. As to count 5, the same charge, causing serious bodily injury to Elizabeth Zisserson. I sentence you to 6 years and 1 day to run from and after the sentence on 001, concurrent with your sentence on 004. Jail credits will be awarded by the clerk. With regard to indictment 06, leaving the scene of property damage, I sentence you to 5 years of probation from and after your sentence on counts 004. Conditions will include that you are to stay away and have no contact with the family of Claire Zisserson or Kendall Z. Motel. You are to have a substance abuse evaluation and any recommended treatment. You are to have a mental health evaluation and any recommended treatment. There will be no use of alcohol or drugs, legal or illegal. You will submit to random urine screens, testing for alcohol and or drug use. You will not be permitted to operate a motor vehicle and or apply for a reinstatement of your motor vehicle license in Massachusetts or for a license to operate a motor vehicle in any other jurisdiction. And this may overlap with the statutory or with the loss of license that's precipitated by the conviction, but it's a separate condition of your probation. In addition, Mr. Goodsell, you'll be required, if you are ever released on probation, to perform 50 hours of community service each year at a program approved by probation that reflects and is appropriate to the crimes for which you have been convicted, such as working with victims of automobile crashes. Madam Clerk, you may impose a sentence.
Mr. Goodsell, on docket number 2083-CR00070, on offense number 001, the court sentences you to be incarcerated in the Massachusetts Correctional Institution at Sousa Baranowski for the term of life with the possibility of parole in 20 years. On offense number 002, the court sentences you to be incarcerated in the Massachusetts Correctional Institution at Sousa Baranowski for the term of not more than 12 years and 1 day, but not less than 12 years. This sentence is to run concurrent with the sentence imposed on offense number 001. On offense number 004, the court sentences you to be incarcerated in the Massachusetts Correctional Institution at Sousa Baranowski for the term of not more than 8 years and 1 day, but not less than 8 years. This sentence is to run from and after the sentence imposed on offense number 001. On offense number 005, the court sentences you to be incarcerated in the Massachusetts Correctional Institution at Sousa Baranowski for the term of not more than 6 years and 1 day, but not less than 6 years. This sentence is to run from and after the sentence imposed on offense number 001 and is to run concurrent with the sentence imposed on offense number 004. On offense number 006, the court places you on probation for a term of 5 years. This term of probation is to begin from and after the sentence imposed on offense number 004 and 005. While on probation, you'll be subject to the standard conditions of probation as well as the following special conditions. You are to stay away and have no contact, directly or indirectly, with the family of Claire Zisserson and Kendall Z. Motel. You are to undergo a substance abuse evaluation and any recommended follow-up treatment. You are to undergo a mental health evaluation and any recommended follow-up treatment. You are to refrain from the use of alcohol or drugs, legal or illegal. You are to submit to random urine screens, testing for alcohol and or drug use. There is to be no operation of any motor vehicle, and in order that you are not to apply for reinstatement of your motor vehicle license in Massachusetts or for a license to operate a motor vehicle in any other jurisdiction. You're hereby notified of your loss of license. And in addition, you will be subject to perform 50 hours of community service each year at a program approved by probation that reflects and is appropriate to the crime to which you have been convicted, such as working with victims of automobile crashes. Sir, I must advise you of your right to appeal under Superior Court Rule 65. If you wish to do so, you must do so in writing within 30 days. You also have a right to appeal your sentence under Superior Court Rule 64. If you wish to do so, you must do so in writing within 10 days. You'll be credited with time spent while awaiting disposition in this matter. That will be 1,740 days. The $110 DNA fee and the $150 legal counsel fee, which was previously assessed, those have been waived. The court does assess a $90 victim witness fee. You stand committed, sir.
Thank you, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.